coming year. So that is our goal. We have been having a lot of innovations in the solar field. It started with RUMS. RUMS started as a joint venture in most other states in the country, where the job of the joint venture was limited to arranging land and developing infrastructure. But slowly we have, from the beginning rather, we have fulfilling the entire gamut of the responsibility, which is fulfilled by the joint venture in most other states, as also what is done by SECI and NTPC in most states. And we have got very good results. When REWA project was bid out, at that time the prevailing rate of solar power in India was 4.5 rupees. SECI used to have some sort of a viability gap funding. 443 was the target tariff, and the bidding was on the VGF, and the project supplying the least VGF was awarded the project. In that scenario, we did a bidding and we got a first year tariff of below 3 rupees. And all major companies participated, even though it was a state-run project. Many international companies participated as well. This really changed how solar projects are structured in the country. After that, Government of India has issued solar bidding guidelines, and all projects run according with that. The REWA project was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister. World Bank, it got the World Bank Good President's Award, and World Bank has always done a lot to talk about this as a project which de-risked the project from the uncertainties and risks that prevail in developing countries. There is a case study on the project in Singapore Management University and Harvard University. But this was not a flash in the pan. Our low tariffs have been successively repeated. Subsequently, in the Agar Shajapur Neemaj project, we got 2 rupees 14 paise, which is again the lowest tariff. And just in December, just 2 months back, after ALMM, these were the tariffs that India had got. The lowermost tariff was 2 rupees 48 paise since April 1 when ALMM was imposed. But we got a tariff of 2 rupees 15 paise. And today we have a signing of that PPA in this program, and the small table that you see, that is where the PPAs would actually be signed. So why is this happening? We done a very big solar plant. It's the biggest solar plant in the country, 278 megawatt. It's been commissioned. It was also inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister. So why has this happened? I mean, it is not because we have got land at concessional rate, or because land rates in MP are low, or is there is any amount of state financial assistance, or the solar irradiance in MP is better. Obviously, Rajasthan or Western or Gujarat is better than what Madhya Pradesh is. So this is on account of a large number of efforts that we have. We would not have the time to go into this. We have pre-bid meetings tomorrow of our upcoming projects, and they are a testimony to the efforts that we make in setting up projects, and we are hopeful that the good results that we have been achieving are replicated in the projects to come up as well. We have also done a few more innovations. We have not limited to supplying to Madhya Pradesh. We have also not limited ourselves to supplying to DISCOMs. Our first project supplies to Delhi Metro. It is the first project in the country supplying to an institutional customer through ISTS, and the next project supplies to Indian Railways. And the PPA signing that we have today, again, it also supplies to Indian Railways, and that is why Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav, Honorable Railway Minister, would be joining us through the web link when the signing of the PPA happens. We are coming up with some more interesting projects which supply beyond the state. Interestingly, UP and MP have a complementary demand. So we are setting up a project, an interesting project in Madhya Pradesh, which supplies to the ISTS, and the project supplies to UP for 6 months and MP for 6 months. This is the first of its kind project with complementary supply to two different states. And we have a more interesting and a complicated version of the same project, wherein we set up a solar project in Madhya Pradesh, supplying to a pumped storage project anywhere in the country. The solar project feeds the pumped storage, and from the pumped storage, we supply to UP for 6 months and MP for 6 months. So it's again a very interesting project. We are coming up with some initiatives in storage. This is an interesting mix of a solar plus a storage project and a storage as a service project. So in the storage of NS plus a storage project, we give you a land for setting up a 300 megawatt solar. We expect you to supply some power real time and remaining to charge a battery. And in the evening, the battery is discharged. So this is the usual solar plus a storage project. But in the same project, we have mixed a storage as a service project. So in the night, the grid charges the battery. This power is supplied for free. And in the morning peak, from the charged battery, we get morning peak. So we get two discharges from the battery. So we are optimally utilizing the battery. So this is the interesting mix of solar plus storage and a storage as a service project. And we are seeking the same tariff throughout the project. And we are hopeful that if we get tariffs lower than thermal, this can push the logic that perhaps we can look at solar plus storage as a serious option to thermal projects. As with our earlier projects, IFC is our transaction advisor for the project, and they in turn are being helped by Trilegal and by PwC and an engineering consultant. So this team has been successively giving good results, and we are hopeful of getting the same results here as well. We have announced recently a pumped hydro storage policy in the state, and we have 4 modes. The first mode is for CPSUs. We also provide for self-identified projects. So this would give a fillip to PSP projects. We have Greenco, we have Torrent. All these companies have evinced interest in pumped hydro projects, and we are confident that this policy was declared only last week, and this was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister today. We are hopeful that with this, the state can move forward. We have some more focus areas of the state. We are focusing a lot on decentralized generation. We have a lot of innovations coming here. There is a lot of constraint faced by our distribution transformers. Our distribution capacity is highly limited. So to address that, we are shifting the point of injection to the LV side of the transformer. This would virtually increase the capacity of our transformers. This would also enable supply of power to our farmers during the daytime, which I have talked about earlier. We are also having project capacity equal to the capacity of the transformer. This is a new innovation that we are making, and this has a lot of learnings for rooftop projects, because all over the country, the regulators have been very conservative when allowing rooftop capacity downstream of the substations. We are making another very interesting innovation of use of reactive power at the distribution level. As of now, what is happening is that reactive power flows from large generators. Over time, we have started decentralized projects, solar projects, but they are supplying only active power. The innovation that we are making is that we are encouraging our decentralized solar projects to supply, apart from active power, reactive power as well, which would reduce the losses. So this would be useful in maintaining the low, in helping us in the low voltage situations. When the voltage level is low, then we expect our developers to inject reactive power and maintain the voltage. And when the voltage is high, we expect them to absorb reactive power and bring down the voltage. And we would be compensating our decentralized solar generators for reactive power management. And so we are trying to have a decentralized solution to a decentralized problem. And this is much more effective than having capacitors. We would be supplying around 10 to 15 paisa per kVARH to our developers for the same. This is very useful because we can achieve reactive power compensation without investing in capacitors, and we would be also doing this at night. So this is another interesting innovation that we are making. The state has also decided to go in for solar pumps in a big manner, and we are expecting a farmer share of only 10%, and the remaining would be, so the farmer has to pay only 10%, and the government would be recovering, would be paying less for the repayment of the loan than they presently do for the payment of the subsidy. So it is a win-win for both the farmer and for the government. We are also coming up with a big solar rooftop project, Earlier, the solar rooftop project that we did got the lowermost rates in the country. For example, IIM Indore has a project with zero investment by IIM Indore, and they're saving 4 lakh rupees per month. We plan to do it. ADB has done a case study on that. We plan to replicate this all over the state. So to aggregate buildings, we are aggregating at the district level all buildings or government buildings in the state. At the district level, we are doing it in HIG colonies. The formula that we have is zero investment, savings from day one, and moving towards net zero. So these are the various initiatives that we are trying to implement in Madhya Pradesh. But I would like to reiterate that all these initiatives can be implemented only with the support of all of you. Our earlier projects have been implemented with the support of the developers, with a huge participation by bidders, by the support we have got from IFC, and we intend to follow the same path, and we want to welcome you to Madhya Pradesh to be a part of the renewable Madhya Pradesh family. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shri Srivastava, for taking us to this stride with what all is happening in renewable energy sector in Madhya Pradesh. And now we would like to invite on stage Dr. Jaideep Gupta ji, additional member, Railways. Sir, please join us here on stage. And now to welcome Shri Amit Mittal ji, CEO Jindal India Renewable Energy Limited. Can we please request Shri Pankaj Tiwari ji, Ramsel, to please join us here on stage, and welcome Shri Amit Mittal ji. We also request Shri Anish Kansara ji, AE Ramsel, to join us here on stage as we welcome Shri Vineet Mittal ji, Chairman Avada Group. We also request Shri Avnish Shukla ji, EE MP NRED, to please come on stage, and welcome Dr. Jaideep Gupta ji, additional member, Railway. Now it's time that we move towards the MOU signing for new and renewable energy projects happening in Madhya Pradesh, which would be happening between Madhya Pradesh New and Renewable Energy Department and renewable energy developers. On behalf of MP NRED, I request Shri Manu Srivastava ji, ACS MP NRD, to please come a little forward, and also Shri Amanveer Singh Baez ji, MD MP UVNL, to please join us here on stage for MOU signing. Now inviting on stage renewable energy developers. We have Shri Vijayanand Chaudhary ji from Shritech Data Limited, who has done a total investment of 50 CR in green hydrogen park with capacity of 18,000 metric ton. Can we please have Shri Vijayanand Chaudhary ji from Shritech Data Limited on stage, please? Next, we would like to invite on stage Mahesh Bhai M. Kumbhani, Teerth Gopikon Limited. Shri Vijayanand Chaudhary ji from Shritech Data Limited, with an investment of 50 crore in a green hydrogen park with a promise of 18,000 metric ton. We request all the members I would be naming to please join us here on stage all together. Shri Mahesh Bhai M. Kumbhani from Teerth Gopikon Limited, Shri Vijayanand Chaudhary ji from Shritech Data Limited, Shri Parag Sharma ji from O2 Power Private Limited, Shri Rajkumar Yadav ji from Ms. Akansha Energy Private Limited, Shri Anand Maheshwari ji from Lakhan Anand Group Khandwa, Shri Rajat Agarwal ji, Ms. RP Overseas, Shri JC Kakoti from NTPC Limited, Shri Puranjay Sharma ji from Vindhya Renewable Assets Private Limited, Shri Babar Shah, Blomthane Gas Tech Private Limited, Shri Bahadaru Narsimha Rao from Shri Siddharth Infrastructure and Services Private Limited, Shri Jayesh Vyas from Four Squares Green Energy Private Limited, Shri Munnu Swami Rajesh Chintakunta from Ritvik Projects Private Limited, Shri Bambhania Parshottam Bhal from Dhakara Energy PSP Private Limited, Shri Mereddy Keshav Reddy from Astha Green Energy Ventures India, Shri Bambhania Parikshit Purushottam ji from Hexatron Industries Limited, Shri Bambhania Purushottam Bhalam, MKC Infrastructure Limited, Shri Shivkumar Vepa Koma from Solar Energy Corporation of India Limited, Shri Vinod Malviya, Shri Atul Patidar ji from Atvian R Solar Energy Private Limited, Shri Sunil Agrawal ji from Purushottam Profiles Private Limited to please join us here on stage. Jigish Mehtaji from Torrent Power, Lakhan Industries, Shri J.C. Kakoti from NTPC Limited. Please join us here on stage. Shri J.C. Kakoti, General Manager NTPC Limited, has joined us here with a total investment of 1500 CR in energy storage, committing to a capacity of 500 megawatt. Tech Data Limited in green hydrogen power has made a commitment of capacity of 18,000 metric ton with an investment of 50 CR. Teeth Gopikon Limited in solar module and solar cell has made a commitment of 3 gigawatt each with an investment of 110 CR. Tech Data Limited in solar park has committed 100 megawatt with an investment of 250 crores. O2 Power Private Limited in hybrid has committed to a capacity of 1000 megawatt with 500 crores of investment. Akanksha Energy Private Limited has signed an MOU of capacity 250 megawatt in Kusum A and Kusum C with an investment of 1000 crores. Lakhan Anand Group, Khandwa, again in Kusum A and Kusum C, is signing an MOU of 100 megawatt with 600 crores of investment. RP Overseas in biogas plant with 6 TPD and investment of 1000 crores. NTPC Limited in biogas in energy storage 800 megawatt and 1500 crores of investment. Vindhya Renewable Assets Private Limited in solar and wind 50 megawatt 2500 crores of investment. Biomethane Gas Tech Private Limited with 3000 crores of investment in compressed biogas 6 MTPD. Now moving forward, now it's time to have a deeper understanding on renewable energy from the experts, and joining us first on stage is Shri R.P. Gupta ji, Chairman and Managing Director, Solar Energy Corporation of India. Can we please give a huge round of applause to Shri Gupta ji?
Honorable Minister for New and Renewable Energy, Madhya Pradesh, Sri Rakesh Shukla ji, Sri Manu Srivastav, ACS Energy, the dignitaries on the dais, and ladies and gentlemen. Well, so much has been said about energy transition and renewable energy that I do not know whether there is anything substantially new can be said. But let me attempt something. You are all aware that our near-term goal of the country is 500 gigawatt of non-fossil energy by 2030. We have already reached a commissioned capacity of about 218 gigawatt by the end of January 2025. Roughly about 150 gigawatt of the projects, they are under implementation, and in the remaining 4 to 5 years, the rest of the capacity would be bidded by different state governments, by the central government agencies, and there will be a lot of transactions, and project would be set up for non-governmental sectors, for particularly the C&I segment. So 500 gigawatt by 2030, with the kind of regulatory and the ecosystem which has been created in the country, I do not see any of the problem for that. However, the goal for the country for reaching by net zero by 2070, the intermediate goal which we have set up and which has been assessed is so about 2000 gigawatt by 2047. Now that is something which will be kind of would pose the challenge. And the challenge in renewable sector, which so far we have not faced, but which we are going to face now, are going to be mainly three. First challenge is going to be land. We have used the land which were readily available. And these are the projects which are extremely land intensive projects. So land is going to be one of the challenge, and that is where I think the role of the state governments and the business friendliness of the state government, that will play a major role in facilitating the projects. Most of the projects in renewable energy would be attracted to those states where land is either readily available, that is identified, earmarked and made available, or the legal and regulatory process for getting the land, either from the government or from the private sector, that is simplified. So land is going to be one of the major constraints as well as challenge for it. And I request the state, particularly MP, I have seen, it has been a very proactive state in making the land available. So good luck to MP, and I think on this count, lot of investment in renewable energy sector would be attracted here. The second challenge countrywide is going to be the transmission of energy. The potential areas, particularly Gujarat and Rajasthan, where solar potential is maximum, they also are the areas where the land is probably more readily available, in the sense that there is not much habitation over there. But taking this energy which is generated there to the load centers, and particularly synchronizing the time of commissioning of these projects, renewable energy projects, and also the transmission system. Currently there is a lot of mismatch, and this mismatch creates a lot of commercial issues, a lot of legal issues, and results in higher tariff, and also abandoning the project. So the transmission system and the transmission regulatory framework would need a major overhaul to synchronize the two. Third is going to be the energy storage systems. So far, the amount of renewable energy which was fed into the grid, being a much less percent of total energy, did not pose much of a problem to the grid, but now the storage has become the necessity. Along with the storage is what ACS Madhya Pradesh has said, shifting the load to the generation time, generation period. A lot of states are doing it, and PM Surya Ghar Yojana, launched by Honorable Prime Minister, and the PM Kusum. These two schemes are the major efforts in shifting the load from non-solar hour to solar hours. But energy storage system, that is a must, and fortunately the prices of energy storage system, particularly the batteries, they have been coming down rapidly. It is estimated that we will be requiring some 400 gigawatt hour of battery energy storage. Now that is also an excellent opportunity for investment, apart from the renewable energy projects, the storage projects, and the transmission project. I thank Government of Madhya Pradesh for inviting me to this summit, and I am very happy to address all of you. Let us all make India a very sustainable and green energy and green economy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shri Gupta ji, for sharing your views. Now can we please invite on stage Shri Imad Fakori ji, Regional Director, FC South Asia to please speak a few words.
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister for the New and Renewable Energy and Honorable Sri Manu Srivastava, the Additional Chief Secretary. It is indeed an honor and a pleasure to be with all of you today. I want to extend a very warm welcome to all the distinguished guests, investors, partners, and a big honor to be in Madhya Pradesh, a state that is not only a spiritual heritage location, but also holds tremendous, immense potential and plays a very key role in India's clean energy transition. And on behalf of the International Finance Corporation, IFC, which is the private sector arm of the World Bank Group, I very much want to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to support Madhya Pradesh in its incredible journey towards a sustainable and green future. Over the past decade, India has made significant progress in diversifying its energy mix and reducing dependence on fossil fuels. And to meet its sustainable development goals, India will require substantial clean energy investments. And between 2026 to 2030, India would be needing about $263 billion of annual investments. And this will increase to around $355 billion annually between 2031 to 2035 to meet the nationally determined plans of India on renewable energy. And the key is that about 60% of that investment must come from the private sector, highlighting the need for the strong partnerships that you've seen several of them exhibited earlier on the stage. Madhya Pradesh is a state of significant importance. It is India's second largest state by area and has a very rapidly and transforming economy. And while the state has achieved tremendous economic growth, there remains a great opportunity to drive further inclusion and sustainable development by leveraging the abundant renewable energy resources of Madhya Pradesh. For us at IFC, India remains to be the largest focus area globally, with commitments on an annual basis having tripled from 1.3 billion in fiscal year 22 to 4.2 billion in fiscal year 24. Over the past 7.5 years, up till the end of December, we have committed in long-term financing and mobilized over $20 billion, and we look very much in the upcoming period to actually exceed and increase that. And we are advancing critical priorities in our partnership with India. In last fiscal year, we have invested close to about 750 million in just climate finance in India alone. And we have been very focused on gender inclusion, where 63% of our commitments in South Asia in terms of investments have had a gender focus, making actually South Asia and India specifically the highest performing region globally within the International Finance Corporation, and really reflecting our continued commitment on inclusive development. Our current portfolio in South Asia is about $12 billion, and India makes up about 83% of that, so we're at around $10 billion, with about 1/3 of that in equity, actually, investing in the strength of the India economy. And the power sector in Madhya Pradesh has seen remarkable progress over the past decade. As of January 2025, the state has contracted power generation capacity of about 28 gigawatts, with 40% of that coming from renewable sources. And Madhya Pradesh actually ranks the 4th in the country for solar power production, a testament to its investment and investor-friendly policies and strong leadership of the government of Madhya Pradesh, and particularly of the new and renewable energy department. However, with electricity demand projected to grow at more than 5% annually, the state must continue expanding its renewable energy capacity to meet its future requirements. And Madhya Pradesh has emerged truly as a leader in renewable energy, driven by the innovative large-scale projects. And the state's government goal of achieving 50% renewable energy by 2030, along with the policies to promote the model renewable energy cities and green zones, provides a clear roadmap for a sustainable future for Madhya Pradesh. Even the recent union budget has emphasized the need to exploring public-private partnership models, or PPPs, in key sectors such as power and municipal infrastructure, which creates tremendous new opportunities for private sector engagement. IFC has been a very steadfast partner in Madhya Pradesh's renewable energy journey, actively supporting the large-scale solar PPP project since 2016. Over the few years, IFC has helped mobilize $1.4 billion across 4 solar projects in the state. And one of the most landmark projects is obviously the Rewa Solar Project, a project of about $575 million for 750 megawatts. It set a benchmark for solar tariffs in India. It demonstrated the viability of a state-led solar initiatives. It attracted actually open access consumers, creating new market opportunities. And for us as a World Bank group, we were able to come in on the World Bank on the transmission financing side, and IFC on the investment side, helping actually the project developers mobilize the entire debt packages for their project. And IFC's approach to preparing projects thoroughly well in accordance with international best practice and de-risking these projects before tendering them has led, in partnership with the government of Madhya Pradesh, to having very strong bid participation from investors, increased international investments, and record low tariffs, benefiting both consumers, businesses, and the wider economy. A prime example of the continued progress is the Neemuch Solar Park, whereas the recent bid has resulted in the lowest tariff in 4 years, reflecting the commitment of the Rewa Ultra Mega Solar Limited to risk mitigation and efficient execution. And IFC advised projects continue to set industry benchmark in terms of the contract bankability, the environmental safeguards, and the